a cool, blustery, sunny day, and we're grateful for that. And we want to welcome our dear friend Cary Cooper here to share music. And Cary, tell us where you are.
I am in Asheville, North Carolina. So it's also a blustery day here as well.
Is it also sunny? And
so far, it looks like rain later maybe, but right now it's nice and sunny.
Sure, I'm looking forward to hearing your music for the first time in too long. It's been too long. You sang in circles. I'm glad you're here with us today.
Thank you.
So we're going to sing our song, Come Celebrate, and then we'll bring you back for your song.
Okay.
Glad you're here with us.
Come celebrate, gather together, come celebrate, one by one, come celebrate, now and forever, let us love one. Come celebrate, join in a circle, come celebrate, side by side, come celebrate, now and forever, let us remember we are one. Celebrate, celebrate, come celebrate, 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 come celebrate, 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 come celebrate, yes, celebrate, celebrate, come celebrate, come celebrate, gather together, come celebrate, heart open wide, come celebrate, now and forever, let us remember we are one. We are one. We are
one. So, thank you for coming to celebrate with us, and we're going to invite you now to join us in our facing of the four directions as we begin, whether you're sitting or standing, whatever is comfortable for you, to turn and face the four directions as we sing, chant, O great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea. You are inside and all around me. And we'll sing that once for each of the directions, and then we'll turn and sing it a fifth time for that divine within each one of us. So if you'll begin with us by turning to the east, to the direction of the rising sun, of new beginnings and infinite possibilities. Together.
oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, you are and all around. Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around.
Now we're turning to the west, opening to the direction of the setting sun, of letting go of what happened in the past, of opening up to the mystery that comes right here, right now.
Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around.
And then we face into the north, into the direction of midnight, of the darkness and the challenges that are always present, that are calling us to stand firm, though, in this present moment.
Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around.
We turn within to the realm of spirit, to the infinite now that is without unfolding within us and all around us.
Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around.
Oh, Holy One, Holy Wonder, lover of our souls, God, the Goddess, many names that we call you. Right here, right now, we join with all of creation, with the two-leggeds and the four-leggeds, the winged ones, the ones that swim and crawl with rocks and trees, grasses with the seas, the skies, the stars, the oceans, with the universe, with all of life. We affirm our oneness. We affirm we are one. Together, we are one. And once again, we are one. And for this opportunity to be together, to feel change in the air, to learn, to adapt, to grow, for this opportunity to honor and nurture the sacred in ourselves, each other, and all of creation, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is.
And into this place of heart opening, into this place of spirit alive now, we welcome our good friend Cary Cooper to share her music, her heart, her wisdom. Thank you for being here, Cary.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm going to start with a song that I wrote not long ago called Rock Garden. And it is about being able to adapt, I guess, to whatever life brings your way and being open to looking at what that might be. If I had a green thumb, I would grow a garden. I would plant some daisies to dance around my yard. But I don't have a green thumb, so I don't have a garden. I just dream of daisies, 'cause growing things is hard. Every dream is different. Every dream takes time. The trick is being present to what is yours to find. Almost every weekend, I hike into the forest to lose the world around me, to take a little stock, to think about what matters, to keep my heart a-beatin'. And almost every weekend, I find a heart-shaped rock. Every dream is different. Every dream takes time. The trick is being present to what is yours to find. You can cry or you can laugh, pay the toll or do the math. Stop looking for that greener grass and bloom where you were planted. So maybe what I'm saying is I don't need a flower. I don't need to wish for daisies in my yard. I can make a garden with the hearts that find me. Love how they remind me that dreaming isn't hard. Every dream is different. Every dream takes time. The trick is being present to what is yours to find. The trick is being present to what is yours to find.
Thank you.
Well said. Trick is being present with what's going. And as we begin this morning, I'd like to acknowledge that your music helps us to be really present to what is. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you back here in a minute.
All right.
Another thing that we're asked to be present with these days is the fact that the selection is still hanging in the air and literally hanging over their heads. And it's almost as if our whole country is holding its breath at some level. And so as we get ready for this next poem and for the breath meditation that comes afterward, I invite you to feel your willingness just to breathe and be present. What is yours to find? It's all of this around us. What is yours? What is ours to find here? Just so beautifully in this poem, Instructions for the Journey.
This poem, Instructions for the Journey, is by Pat Schneider, who did a little research on it. She just passed away in August in the late 80s. But she was very inspirational to many writers. Instructions for the Journey. The self you leave behind is only a skin you have outgrown. Don't grieve for it. Look to the wet, raw, unfinished self, the one you are becoming. The world, too, sheds its skin. Politicians, cataclysms, ordinary days. It's easy to lose this tenderly unfolding moment. Look for it. Look for it as if it were the first green blade after a long winter. Listen for it. Listen as if it were the first clear tone in a place where dawn is heralded by bells. And if all that fails, wash your own dishes. Rinse them. Stand in your kitchen at your sink. Let cold water run between your fingers. Feel it. Instructions for the journey. So now I invite you to join us in our time of communion, this physical manifestation of our metaphysical oneness. And this morning I invite you to join us as we breathe together, remembering that we are literally breathing in the same air. And we'll take 4 long, deep communal breaths together. And as we inhale, I invite you to not just ingest the air, but to fully digest it, to take it in mindfully. And then as we exhale, to let us each one release all that is past so that we can become more fully present in this moment, right here, right now. And so together we'll inhale at the sound of the bowl ringing, and then we'll exhale 4 times. Inhale. And exhale. Once more, inhale. And again. And finally, we remember that truly we are one. So we welcome back Cary Cooper for another song.
This is a song that I wrote from a quote that my grandmother used to say often in my house when I was little, when something was wrong or when someone wasn't in a situation that they particularly liked, maybe like now. She would just say in her very pronounced Southern drawl, "Oh, honey, this too shall pass." So this too shall pass. Broken wing and a borrowed prayer just ain't enough to get you there. Out of luck, running out of rope, got nowhere left to hang your hope. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. Sometimes courage makes the choice to whisper in a quiet voice and hold you like a long lost friend, reminding you to try again. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. In the darkest night, all it takes is just a little light. Just a little light. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. This too shall pass.
Thank you so much, Cary. This too shall pass.
Thank you, Cary's grandma, for reminding us, anchoring us in this awareness.
So I'm going to take a few moments today just to talk about resilience and times of change. That this too shall pass is a great opportunity, great phrase to get us started. So just for a moment, think for yourself about the last time your smartphone broke, the last time you were stuck in traffic late for an appointment, the last time you were asked to wear a mask and you really didn't want to wear a mask. So did you want to blame someone? Did you scream? Did you let the four-letter words fly? Did you say, oh, why me? Well, it's normal to get upset when things don't go our way, because don't we know that eventually there will be some things that go wrong? And yet today we know that someone's phone will break, someone will be late for a meeting, someone will be asked to wear a mask one more time. And we know this, yet it is still a surprise when it happens to us. It can be a surprise. And so when these things happen, it's very easy for our emotions to take control. And let's just take a look at a different kind of response to these changes in life. And let's look at resilience. What does resilience really mean? Well, the dictionary says resilience is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties, a toughness or the ability to spring back into shape, elasticity. Yet being resilient doesn't mean that you won't ever experience difficulties in life. We all do. I know, we've all each, myself included, experienced challenges and times where we felt like we didn't know what the next step was. But it means that you will cope better when you're faced with these challenges. So there's an old Sufi story that is about a farmer and his donkey. And the donkey fell down into a well. And for hours it cried and cried while the farmer was trying to figure out what to do. And the farmer finally decided what to do, and he figured the donkey was old and the well needed to be filled in. And so he called all of his neighbors, and each one brought a shovel. And as they shoveled dirt into the well, the donkey continued to cry. And then suddenly, to everyone's amazement, it quieted down. And they weren't quite sure, but a few shovelfuls later, the farmer looked down into the well, and what he saw astounded him, because the donkey, with each shovel of dirt on his back, he would shake it off and use that dirt to take a step up. And as the farmer's neighbors continued to shovel the dirt, the donkey continued to shake it off and to take a step up. And pretty soon, everyone was amazed as the donkey finally stepped up over the edge of the well and happily trotted on. So keep in mind, there are going to be times when you feel like you've fallen into a well and you don't know how to get out. And life will shovel dirt on you, all kinds of dirt. But the trick is getting out of the well. The trick to getting out of the well is to shake it off and to take a step up and allow each of these troubles that appear in our lives that challenge us, those to be stepping stones. Because we can get out of the deepest wells not by not stopping, but by never giving up, by shaking it off, by taking a step up, by being resilient. And the good news is that resilience can be learned. And just like a muscle, there are things that we can do to train ourselves to be more adaptable in times of adversity. The cause of our dissatisfaction is often our attachment to the outcome, to the desires that we have and what we don't want to have. And it's natural to want some things. It's natural to want a promotion, to want the perfect partner, avoid other things like the traffic jams and the broken phones. Unfortunately, what we want is not always guaranteed. So despite our best efforts, we sometimes don't get what we want, and we sometimes get what we don't want. And we all know the truth of this. We all know that it happens, yet why do we get so angry when our phone breaks? Why do we feel so disappointed when we don't get that promotion? And the problem isn't really about the wanting. The problem is our attachment to it. One thing you can do is to learn what triggers your emotions around this, around the wanting and the not wanting, to become aware of those triggers and learn how to be proactive when they arise. So there are two things that are happening when we want something. First thing is that there is this desire for the thing to happen. And second, there is an attachment to the outcome. And it's the second part that gets us. Because whenever we feel a desire for something, we imagine what life will be like once we get it. And if you want a promotion, what do you imagine will change once you get there? Do you think that your life will be so much better? And there you are. You're spending your time off in this future land. The more we fantasize about the future, the more attached we become to it. So when life doesn't play out the way we fantasized, it hurts. And this isn't true for big life events like promotions, but it's true of everyday events. Like being stuck in traffic, like dealing with a broken phone, like wearing the mask. It's our wishful thinking about the future that colors our perception of the present. So non-attachment refers to ending the focus on the outcomes. Non-attachment. It doesn't mean that you don't care whether you get the promotion. It doesn't mean that you don't care about how you're living your life. You care. And in terms of the promotion, that's why you work so hard. But it's here to remind us that outcomes can't be guaranteed, no matter how hard we work, no matter how much we prepare. We still might get passed over for the promotion. Our phones still might break, no matter how careful we are with it. Traffic happens. But non-attachment is here to remind us that trying and succeeding are two very different things. It's very wise to try our best, but it's unwise to expect success. Sometimes we don't get what we want, and sometimes we get what we don't want. Most of the time, this is outside of our control. And this concept of non-attachment is asking us to constantly live with this knowledge so that when things aren't the way we want them to be, then we're not taken by surprise. We're prepared. We're ready. Life is constantly changing. So if you expect things to change, if you plan in advance for what might happen, you develop this ability to find opportunity in the change, to find those stepping stones, to use the dirt. And the road to resilience really lies in our own mindfulness, in sitting with what is, being with what is. And simple breathing techniques can quickly calm down this flight or fight response that we have. And mindfulness is about being in the moment without judgment. If you practice this, then you can turn it on at any moment, no matter what the challenge. And the more time you spend in that place, the smoother the journey will be, no matter what happens in your life. Thomas Merton, who you may have heard of, was a well-known Catholic monk and writer and mystic, scholar, poet, social activist, prominent in the 1950s, pretty controversial in his own time. He published a book in 1948, The 7-Story Mountain. And the central metaphor for the book is that life is like spiritual life is like a trip up a tall, wide mountain. And the trip moves in this spiral path up the mountainside, around and around, again and again. This constant revolution taking you a little bit higher up the mountainside, giving you a little broader perspective of where you've been. And each trip around the mountain visits the same phases: joy, sorrow, confusion, grief, standing still, awe, all of it. But on each trip around and around, as you go up this steadily narrowing mountain, each of these phases becomes shorter and shorter. And you can't skip any of the steps or any of the phases, but you stay in each one more briefly than the one before, and you continue to see it from this higher perspective. Now, almost no one gets to the top, and that's not really the point. The point is to simply enjoy this process of the journey, to be where you are in whatever phase you are in, knowing and trusting that the path will lead you onward and upward, around, again and again, as you move towards the top of the mountain. So just keep in mind that resilience is not a given. You have to work for it. But sometimes it can be as simple as sitting still. You have to pay attention. And it starts with this daily decision to not give up, no matter how tough it gets. And the good news is that if you can make this decision every day for yourself, then what lies ahead of you is this well lived. And what lies within you is a growing sense of peace and fulfillment. So I invite you now to take this moment to practice our mindfulness. Practice this time of being with what is. So wherever you're sitting or standing, find yourself comfortable. And take a breath and another. And maybe you're going to feel something that is a challenge for you. And maybe not. Maybe you're ready and prepared to be here in this moment now. Take this next breath, breathing in, feeling your belly extend as your breath deepens. And exhaling and releasing. And try this a few times on your own as you inhale and fully fill your belly. Let it extend out, full of air. And exhaling, and possibly a sound or comes with your exhale. Breathing in. And breathing out. Maybe there's a phrase, a word, a mantra that you want to repeat on the inhale and the exhale. Or maybe there's a counting that works for you as you breathe in and breathe out. Find that which brings your attention back to your breath. And whatever distractions or noises, sounds take you away from your breath, just come back to your breathing, time and again, gently breathing. As you find yourself focused here in the breath, in this moment, this peace that you experience, won't you take a breath and on your exhale, share that breath with someone, something, somewhere. Allow your peace, your presence to ripple out like a pebble in a pond into your world. Know that this is something you can do at any time, in any place, in each and every moment. You have this tool. You have this muscle. Strengthen it. Allow it to serve you, to build your resilience. And as we breathe together, may all beings be blessed by our willingness to do this. By the simple act of breathing together. And for this opportunity to do so, we say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And so it is. Would you join us now in our song, In All Things Give Thanks?
In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks. Thanks, thanks. In all things give thanks. Sing it with me, feel it with me. In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks. Thanks, thanks. In all things give thanks. Give thanks for the gifts of life. The one light shines through all of creation, with hands and hearts open wide. We lift our voices in celebration. In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks. Thanks, thanks. In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks.
And we give thanks as we lift up the gifts given to the Celebration Circle, supporting our work, allowing us to connect online, virtually, on Sundays and Wednesdays, and the mandala and intention workshops and other ways. So we lift up those gifts. gifts that you are allowed to and requested to give on PayPal or Venmo or on our website, or links that are going to be posted here in the comments section. So many ways for you to give. Mail a check too, that works. Supporting the work of the circle. And we're grateful for that support. We're grateful for you because you make a difference. And we also lift up the names and the situations in our prayer list. And knowing that this powerful prayer circle considers each and every one, lifting them up into the light, holding them in their hearts. So you can email those names. You can call our circle line, but let us know so we can add your loved ones, any situations challenging you, into the prayer circle. So for that, we are thankful. And just a few announcements we have. Of course, I'm going to thank Cary for being with us. We're going to have another song with her. And her website is in the comments section, so I hope you'll take a look. She's got great music out there. More. We're just getting the tip of the iceberg today. Meditation circle happens every Wednesday, 7:30 to 8. Whitley and Angel Santiago. So take advantage of that midweek, and it's live on Facebook. And then next Sunday, November 22nd, Charlie Thweet will be with us. He is a singer, songwriter, speaker, and he's going to speak about flow your boat. Trust is not a dream. So Charlie is funny and engaging and inspirational, all rolled into one big bundle. So we look forward to having him with us next Sunday. Anything else?
Like Cary Cooper, Charlie Thweet is someone we normally would not have been able to have in the circle unless they happen to be in town on tour. But given the miracle of the internet and our online circle these days, we are able to have these folks, and we're certainly grateful to have Cary. We're looking forward to having Charlie, and we thank you for your support in making it possible to bring these folks into the circle from all across the United States and beyond.
So now we're going to invite Cary back for another song, and this one, Wish for You.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. It's been an honor to be here. And I want to leave you with this little wish. Food upon your table, a roof above your head, work if you are able, a warm and cozy bed, something to believe in, somewhere to belong, a heart upon your sleeve and a voice to sing a song, a smile for every stranger, a hug for every friend, a compass for your conscience and where the sidewalk ends, a penny for your pockets, a place to hide your dreams, safe with all your secrets until you set them free, to know that you are worthy, to live by what is true. This is the wish I wish for you. To spread the joy of giving, to always lend a hand, to have courage to step over a line drawn in the sand, to stand by your convictions while never losing sight of the power of connection, to turn the dark to light, to feel the love of family whenever you're alone, to know that where your heart is, will always be your home. To offer up forgiveness to every fallen face, because you've been a witness to God's amazing grace. To know that you are worthy to live by what is true. This is the wish I wish for you. This is the wish I wish for you.
Thank you for that wish.
Thank you.
Cary.
Yes.
So good to see you guys. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
Blessings to you in your continued journeys and on your on all the songs yet to come.
There you go. Yours
Thank
too.
Yes.
you.
Bye for now.
Bye.
So we invite you to join us in a closing circle.
As we gather hands around the world, we sing together, love is the only power, love is the only way. Watch our circle grow.
Love is the only power. Love is the only way. Love, 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 love. Watch our circle grow. Love is the only power. Love is the only way. Love, 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 love. Watch our circle grow.
So, we're so very grateful that you joined us today, and hope to see you next Sunday and Sundays thereafter, and hope you remember how simple breathing is.
And how resilient you are.
You are resilient.
Whatever life brings you, you are surrounded by blessings, by love. And we're grateful that you brought your blessings of love into our conscious celebration of the circle this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. And remember, we love you. We bless you. We see the light in you.
Go in peace.
Be the peace.